My name's Duddits and I do loads of different builds and stuff like that, and today's video is about Void Titan and how we can control the battlefield, literally render our enemies completely useless just by shooting at them, applying volatile, suppression and weaken effects at will. Very easy, and we're even going to be able to suppress, completely neutralise light bearer knights. You don't want to be getting none of them throwing knives or suppression grenades thrown at you. We're just going to stop them just like so. They're not going to be able to do naff all to you. They're going to be absolutely useless. And on top of that, I'm going to be featured a pair of exotics that enable us to do shield barrier smashing as well. Now, the first part of this build is all around the collective obligation exotic pulse from Vow of the Disciple. This weapon leeches void debuffs when damaging targets that are suppressed, weakened or volatile. So you just shoot them and you're going to leech it once they've got them effects on them. And then you hold to reload and you can just spam these rounds out at will. You can just spam suppression, weak and volatile rounds all the time, and it's also got umbral substance on there as well. This weapon is automatically reloaded whenever you gain devour, avoid overshield or become invisible. Now the sights are very key because all these little purple circles represent the debuffs, suppression, weakened and volatile from top to bottom. So the sight is pretty impressive, but I've got a way where we can leech these very easily with this setup on my Titan. Controlled demolition. Every time you hit something with a void ability, it's going to make them volatile. So your grenade, your shield throw, anything, it's going to make them volatile. So that's covered. We've got the volatile leech. Use a suppressor grenade and then you're covered for 2. You're going to suppress and volatile from the controlled demolition, and then so that's 2 of the boxes ticked. And then echo of undermining, your void grenades weaken targets. That's all 3 debuffs. There you go. Weaken, suppress, volatile very easily just from 1 grenade, like so. You'll see I haven't got no leech charge there, and what I'm going to do is simply throw my grenade, which is going to charge all 3. Just shoot him and I've leeched all 3. Volatile, weaken, suppress from the controlled demolition, echo of undermining and the suppression grenade. And that's how easy it is. Just look at this, I only have to shoot him once and I have all 3 leeched instantly. Super fast, super easy setup, and it's extremely useful just for doing this on the fly, like so. Look how easy that is, really easy to do. And then this is what happens. All you do is just like that, hold to reload, and you've just got volatile rounds at will, suppression rounds at will, and you're going to weaken everything as well just by holding the reload. You're going to create void breaches everywhere with this build as well. But the second part of this build is all based around second chance. Gain a second charge of your shield for a melee, so you get 2 of them. Your shield for a melee now weakens targets and becomes shield piercing, stunning barrier champions. So you can actually use the effect from this second chance as well, weaken effect and the controlled demolition to charge 2 for your collective obligation as well. I've got a few clips to show you of that now. I've hit that guy there, he's weakened, shot him, and I've got my 2 debuffs straight away, weakened and a volatile, controlled demolition and the weaken effect. So just a little bonus, and again, just leeching these targets is really easy. That is the second chance, instant break, and what you'll notice as well, it does actually give you a shield for her back. These have been buffed massively over the last couple of seasons, and they're really solid now. You'll see in this clip here, if you just watch my shield throw, as soon as I break it, you get 1 back. Not only are you breaking the shield, you're actually applying a 15% debuff onto that target as well. So it's really solid. You can just keep spamming them shield throws for the weakening effect as well. Not to mention, you don't have to use these on champions all the time. You just weaken like mini bosses and things like that with them as well. So all round with the collective obligation and everything else that you've seen going on, it's an all round solid build for weakening and applying all different types of debuffs to enemies. Now, my personal part of this build is the suppression part. Suppression, I've mentioned in a few of my videos before, it is so strong, so underrated. And if you're doing nightfalls or GMs with light bearer knights, Lucian Hive, it does suppress them, so it's really strong. Like these fellas usually just spam suppression grenades at you. Well, flip reverse, we're going to do it to you. You can't do nothing to us. And just being able to control the battlefield very easily with this suppression and the weakening effect is really strong. I've just took that light bearer guy out of his super there, protecting my friends, and he just pops up there and gets the finisher on him. Very easy, and it does get you out of tight situations as well. just a perfect sort of clip here. You'll see like all these sort of knights are just all spamming their boomer attacks at you. These really hurt. What you do, just sit back and just suppress them, and they're just stood there doing nothing. We've also got this season Unto the Breach. Defeating a void debuff target creates a void breach. We're going to obviously have lots of debuffs going on with this build. Protective breach, picking that up is going to give you a nice tasty overshield as well. And then supernova, that's just adding to the weakening effect of the build. So your next attack is going to weaken the targets once you've picked one of these void breaches up. Again, just more clips of how extremely useful this is for end game builds, especially for, like I said, GMs. And the gun itself absolutely shreds once you've got that void leech going. Really destroys mages and miners very, very easily. It does feel super strong. On top of the controlled demolition, we've got Bastion. So every time you put your barricade down or your super, you're going to give an overshield to your allies. This is another part of the build that I haven't really touched on yet. So just for like giving your teammates overshields and things like that, it's really, really strong. Echo of Undermining is one of the fragments we've already touched about. That's weakening targets with your grenades. Echo of Leeching, melee final blows, start health regeneration for you and your nearby allies. Echo of Domineering, every time you suppress something you're going to get increased mobility, and it's also going to reload your weapon and create a void breach. Echo of Harvest, defeating weakened targets creates an orb of power and a void breach. This one works perfectly. So this is just another part of the build. You're going to create loads of orbs as well with the weakening fragment, and then just a support play, just popping your bubble or your banner shield, your barricades down, it's just going to give your teammates sort of safe havens, give them an extra overshield, things like that. But the actual weakening suppression part of the build is probably so underrated, I think personally, because you literally just render enemies completely useless. They can't do nothing when they're suppressed and weakened. And this build with the second chance, all the weakening effects you get from that, your free anti-barrier, you don't need to run anti-barrier weapons. All around it's an absolutely S-tier build, and it's quite a technical build as well. But once you've got the gist of it, you'll soon love this build. It's absolutely crazy, just getting yourself out of tight situations like that. So to buff my melee shield throw, I run 3 melee kickstarts. Every time you free melee, you get energy back. And I also like to run outreach. Every time you use my class ability, I run 2 of them. That's going to give you big chunks of your melee back as well. Now for orbs for your melee kickstart, you want to be running Reaper, because you use your class ability quite a lot. Your next kill is going to spawn an orb. And then on top of that, you've got your outreaches. So you're going to create an orb every time you use your class ability. And then on my legs I run stacks on stacks. Every time I pick up an orb it's going to give me ×2 armor charge. So that's plenty for your melee kickstart. And then 2 innovation mods. Every time you pick one of these orbs up you're going to get big chunks of melee energy as well. So I'll just show you that quickly before we end the video. We'll leave a dim link and everything in the build description, in the video description. But you'll see there, you're going to get loads and loads of orbs, loads and loads of melee energy back with the outreach and the innovation and that lot on your legs going. Really, really strong. And this is where the Echo of Harvest really kicks in, because like I said, everything's weakened, so you're going to create loads of orbs of power and loads of void breaches for you and your teammates. That is the video. I'm going to leave, like I said, I will leave a dim link in the video description. I'm going to leave this build playing out so you can just pause and copy it. I hope you found this build helpful. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.